I think it'll be worthwhile spent if we do win.
It's a £1.5 million gamble, is what it is.
If we get it and it's anything like as good as it was for Hull, I'm 100% personally.
What is culture? That needs to be defined first.
I'm going to start with you because you said you decided to not be in favour of it, but obviously now it's happened.
Yeah, I suppose because there's so many cutbacks, and part of culture is libraries budgets have been cut, various little organisations, their budgets have been cut, and they're part of our culture. And at a time, it's probably, I suppose there's never a right time for anything. When it comes to money, especially when it comes to money, but I think it'll be worthwhile spent if we do win. But what the questions I want to ask?
What do you think our chances are?
I want to ask the question I want to ask when I do get the opportunity is what we're going to do different to what we did last time, so we've got more of a chance of winning.
Okay. And obviously they've had the launches so far. Were you able to attend any of them?
No, I didn't.
No, okay. So the message at the moment that they've given out has, if you were to judge it on that, what do you think? Are we doing the right things? The video, I don't know if you had a chance to see.
Like I said, you haven't had any opportunity to see it.
Okay, no problem. Have you had a chance to have a look at any of the...
I found out about it from the TNA.
Really?
Yeah. So I have a slightly different take on it. It's a £1.5 million gamble, is what it is at a time when we don't have £1.5 million to gamble with, personally speaking. I was around at the last time we bid to be the capital of culture, where there is mega money attached to winning that.
Yes.
And
we were unsuccessful.
We were unsuccessful because we didn't have the infrastructure to support a thriving industry, was the term. Whether we've got the infrastructure now, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Sorry, is that traffic infrastructure or
cultural capital?
Cultural, yeah, okay.
Infrastructure. So at the time, we were going to pull down the Odeon. We said our major cultural investment was we were going to rebuild and reorganise our schools. And looking back, it wasn't really. The very successful bit about it was the strap line. One landscape, many views, which I actually still think is massively appropriate for a city, because it is one landscape, many views. But I think we've probably developed some culture. However, it came so far from left field that we were doing it, and I still am not sure what the structure is around it. Let alone what the messages are, and the video. I know that the video that they tried to sell last time had a degree of cultural dissonance in it, which was either ironic because somebody in London had put it together and it just looked culturally, I go into the working men's club and they look at it and go, what? No. So there was a cultural dissonance. If you get women to do that, dress like that, they'll freeze. Was the dissonance around it? Women dancing at the top of the cow and calf frocks in their bare feet. Come on.
That's Bollywood.
That's well, I could say that's something else beginning with B. But it had a set of culture. It set up a cultural dissonance, and that may well have been intended, but it didn't do it for me, and it certainly didn't do it for the judges that time. This has come from left field. So I never even got the courtesy of a briefing that we were going to throw away £1.5 million. Not throw away. We might be really well invested. However, it's
engaged,
£1.5 million, and apparently the term to use for it, well, it's only one-off money. So that's the thing I say to my husband when I come home and say, actually, I bought a new kitchen. Don't worry, it's only one-off money. But seriously, it is. I think we have to define what is this culture, what is this thing. We've had a discussion about, it's about how we treat each other, it's how we treat the things that are around us, it's about how we value our environment. For me, that's what culture is about. So much of what we dress up in the city's culture is religion, and we have a very fuzzy line between the two. So I'm not sure what's in the capital, in the the cultural capital or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's in the bid.
Yeah.
I've not been party to it. I am apparently the only person in the city who had a copy of the old bid.
Right.
And I've produced it.
You can email me.
I've produced it for somebody to have a look at to see whether or not we get it, what difference there's going to be.
Yeah.
I wish the folks well,
Yeah.
you know, whoever they are
Yeah.
that are putting it together.
Yeah.
But I do find it odd that when there's, £1.5 million of public money being gambled on it, that we have not got more political oomph behind it.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
But, you know, the council, the district, not the council, because we are just 90 folk. You know, there's no special magic to any of us, whatever people think. We are just 90 folk. We've lost 60 pence out of every pound has gone from the money that came into Bradford. And we have to find a way of cutting our cloth to fit that. And it doesn't feel right for me at this moment in time we've got our library service going out on strike, we've got museum service going out on strike, we've got museums being closed, we've got museums running down at 1 and 2 days a week, we've got almost eclectic displays in museums that look like somebody just tipped the cupboard out, you know, and said, oh, come and have a look at this. And so we've got a report that came yesterday about green spaces, and if you underpick the research to it, people are unhappy about the parks because they're full of dog dirt, they're full of litter, they're not feeling safe, there's no toilets. Well, actually, none of that is going to be addressed. And you know, those are basic stuff, but this bid, well, £1.5 million on some of that stuff would have made a lot of people feel well about their green spaces. They would have taken their children out more likely to play in those green spaces, and we'd have got a bigger bang for £1.5 million. However, I remain to be convinced. You know, I'm there to be persuaded, along with all the judges, I suspect. But I don't know where it came from as an idea. I don't know what the output from it is expected to be. I know that it is city of culture and not capital of culture.
That's right.
And the huge millions of pounds that would flow.
What was Hull? Was that
big
capital of culture?
that was a capital.
That capital, previous one.
Because from what I've seen of Hull, it did the city no end of
with
good.
Glasgow.
Yeah.
I've seen
And
it.
still,
Yeah, but I don't want to get into a big fight about it because I don't know enough about it to get engaged in the argument. What I'm saying is, in terms of a message, in terms of commitment, in terms of backing something, it's gone a bit short and it's gone off a bit flat for lots of people. And then maybe that's something that we need to have a think about, whoever these people are, about addressing it.
You've raised quite a lot of important things there, and I think for me what I've taken back is if
you're going to tell me how you're chairing it, aren't you?
Local councillor and a resident is not convinced, then how are we going to convince the judges? That's the question in my head. Anyway, let's ask you, Chris, what do you think of the City of Culture from the little that you know? Or
I have seen the video.
Okay.
And it didn't actually say very much at all. It was lots of nice smiley Bradford people from lots of cultures saying Bradford's a nice place to be. And it didn't say anything about what they would bring to the city, but presumably you need to get things rolling, and the artistic people and the cultural people need to get in and start doing things and creating things. If we get it and it's anything like as good as it was for Hull, I'm 100% personally behind it. And I think it will do Bradford the world of good to get our name out there and say, come and look at how good Bradford is. Because I think we are put down. I think we put ourselves down too much sometimes.
What do you think, Rubina, in terms of...
The very little I know about the bid. At one stage I was invited, you know, when they were having the consultation and everything. But to me, what Jeanette said, what is culture? That needs to be defined first. What do they mean by culture? Is just the art and heritage, but then isn't our environment our heritage? Isn't our health our heritage? Isn't our well-behaved youth our heritage? Yeah, so where they're investing. So, to be honest with you, not very sure. So,
because I mean, there'll be a lot of culture from where the centre that you work in, Women's Zone. So people like your organisation would be fantastic to be put forward for such a bid, because you've got so much going on.
They did consult us in the beginning. Yeah, they were in talks with me, and they did share with the projects, the heritage projects we ran. But to be honest with you, the final details, what they want money for, I don't know. I didn't attend any of their event after that, so.
But I think we're a city of cultures rather than just one culture. I think, and again, that's our strength.
And I think
it comes back to your question, how do we define culture?
How we define culture? And commonalities, the common things for all cultures, there should be investment for that. Which all culture, people belonging to all cultures want. And to me, they want good environment, they want health, they want green environment around. So
see, we say
food is to do with the culture as well.
Yeah, we say we're a mix of cultures, but how true is that about we're a mix? Or how divided are we still? And if we are divided, what's the thing that defines us as a place? And so I spend quite a bit of my time these days working with young people outside of school, because I think one of the things that could define us as a city is how well we care for young people outside of school, because we give schools 100% of the blame when things go wrong, but actually young people only spend 20% of their time there, and we actually spend 80% of their time in this thing we loosely call community, or we try to define everything by community. We had a picture the other night of the fire brigade the police talking to the community leaders, so we had like 20 men sitting in a room
regarding the fireworks, bonfire night.
and that's now classified as the community leaders are all working together and everything's going to be fine. Well, I suspect I could find quite a lot of people in this city, all the way out to Ilkley and places like that, who would never recognise that as a set of community leaders. They're a group in one small part of our community. But actually the concern around fireworks spread right across the district. And I have a motion going to council, a bit of self-promotion now. If I'd written a book, I'd be doing the same just at this moment in time, which is about silent fireworks. And, I'm not about banning fireworks. I think they're amazing. What I'm about banning is the fact that some people in our city are now terrified.
It's the anti-social.
It's a big campaign that Bradford Better is running, isn't it?
One of your ladies sent me a really lovely message, because I picked it up because I came across some people who have autism. They really, really struggle for months. And if a huge explosion happens at night, I don't know whether it's the gas boiler that's gone off, or it's Auntie Mabel's 80th birthday, or somebody down the road just got married. And there's nothing around any of that. The fact that they want to celebrate by burning thousands of pounds is nothing to do with me, and I'm perfectly all right with it. It's just the noise that goes with it.
But tell us about it first. Do it organised and safe, and let everyone enjoy it as well.
Well, you can do it.
Don't have it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
But you can do it quietly. You can do it whenever you want to do it. You can do it whenever you want to. You can do it whenever you want to do it. And actually, I'm not sure it is actually. It has to be part of a wedding service ceremony. I think it's I'll be rude now, an ostentatious display of wealth that's found its way into our community. And I don't mind if people want to display their wealth, that's absolutely fine. What I don't want them to do is terrify children, make people who are frightened by loud noises even more frightened. I don't want them to dump them in our street. And actually, I think there's a lot of folk would really like to see a really good firework display and can't afford it. So actually, if we took silent fireworks and just got the little bit of a whiz and we put them in our parks, we could come together and celebrate, and it would be a build of our cultural capital, because it would be something that we'd agreed on actually, that we don't like this stuff.
Can we push that one through the council then?
I've got a motion going to council. With a bit of luck, I'll persuade people to support it. And that's that nudge thing, isn't it? That's about getting people to say, this is something else that we agree on.
Is this something that you probably will support as well in council?
Yeah, definitely.
See, I'm getting your back up now.
But those are the things for me that build capital, because capital is a thing that binds us together.
Yeah.
And we have to find the things that bind us together rather than the things that separate us out.
Yeah.
And I am, as a good Liberal, will value the things that separate us out. But I'm really interested in the stuff that binds us together.
Fantastic. Okay, so obviously, clearly, everybody around this table loves Bradford, and everybody's got their views.
That's something in common.
Yes, totally in common. And obviously, despite its faults, we do know and we do share that there's so many amazing things that are going on. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And if there's just one message you want to give to residents, here's your platform. I'm going to go around all of you and ask you to share what your message that you'd like to say.
Have a look at our Facebook page, which is Bradford 4, which is letter 4, better, and get involved and do whatever you can in your own environment, in your own neighbourhood, to make Bradford a better place. And don't sit around expecting somebody else to do it for you.
Very good.
I think you've spoken my words. Yeah, let's all be together and be a doer. Not just expect other people to do, a councillor or councillors. Get a few people together. Start from somewhere. If you lit one candle, the candle lights other candle, and then we have a lot of light. So. And
you're not alone doing that.
Yeah.
If we can all work together.
And you don't let it go.
Yeah, we are part of that community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like that candle analogy. Yeah.
So we don't let it go.
Yeah.
So it will never turn off, and we'll make Bradford a better place, a place where it could be a role model place for other cities in England. This is how we rebuild our image. That's what we like to do.
I want to keep mine simple, stay positive and be proud of your city.
And I want to go back to the old Capital of Culture bid slogan, the one landscape, many views.
I love that.
I think if we dig down into we live in a beautiful landscape. You can't get away from that. Wherever you are in our district, the view that you get, lift your eyes up. There's some amazing stuff to see.
Yeah.
But we do have many views.
Yes. Yeah.
As people, and I think the celebration of that, and our being able to understand where those fuzzy boundaries are, makes us quite sophisticated, because you do need a degree of cultural literacy to live and operate successfully in Bradford. But I think we are mature enough, and that's our culture, is having that maturity to have those debates and actually have those discussions about violence.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And there we have it. That's our discussion over with, all about Bradford. That's it for this week. Hopefully you'll join us again next week with Let's Talk with Asian Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.